Well, hello there. I thought I would do a proper introduction, not that that's going to change my status on my channel, but I'd like to grow my channel. I erased my other one and I want to concentrate on the one that you're seeing this on. So, anyway, I'm Tanya. I just turned 54 in November. I live by myself, never married, no kids. That's a story for a stitch with me. If you want to hear any of these things I tell you there's a story about, let me know and we can do that. I've lived here over 30 years in this small little California town. I will not mention the town. It has 3 prisons and a jail. One of the prisons got shut down because it was older than the other one. Our governor shut it down. It was using too much money. I used to work at that prison, and then I just transferred up to the newer one. What to say? Right. All right, so I have 3 cats. Ziva the Diva. She's my oldest. She's 9 years old. She's a long-haired gray calico. So when you hear the cats' names, you'll know who I'm talking about. Followed by Mufasa, which is 2 years old. 2 or 3, I lose track. He was rescued at my old work as a 3-week-old kitten that was found. That's a story for that part. And then we have Misty, who I just gained about 2 years ago locally here. I always wanted a tortie shell, so I got her, and she's 2 years old. Everybody is spayed and fixed and all that. That's the only way I go. I've always loved animals growing up. I've had snakes, rats, mice, spiders, and all the critters that those things eat. I used to own my own home. And then whenever I worked at that other prison, they did a furlough program, which means they were cutting down on the people that worked there. And I just started working in like a year. And I'm like, oh, well, that was a short career. But fortunately for me, where I was working, people were ready to retire or they can move to other areas. And then they just kept me in there. So I was saved. And then I stayed there until they made changes. And then I moved to different departments accordingly. That's another story. I'm making a scarf, by the way. Let's see here. I've been at work for physically 20 years, but on paperwork it's only 18 because of the certain insurance thing that when they switched over, they didn't tell people. So now we have to work 2 extra years. Otherwise, if you want to try to buy back that time, it costs like $41,000, some stupid thing. So I decided, nope, we're just gonna, work a little bit longer. And I have 10 years anyway to go, more or less. So that's that on that statistic. Let's see here. I was born in Connecticut. My father moved my brother and I to Costa Rica, the beaches of, literally, because of situations with our mother, who was an alcoholic, and he took us from her because he tried to save us. We got in a car wreck with her. This is another story with a stitch with me. And so he took us to a safe place until he knew things were settled down. The FBI got involved, etc., etc. And when everything was clear, he left Costa Rica and brought us here to California. He started up a dry cleaners. There was already a dry cleaners in our small town. And we eventually, quote unquote, kicked them out because we were the bigger, the more experience coming in. We moved our shop twice. And he retired many, many years ago. He just passed. My mom passed in 2000. And Dad passed about 5-6 years ago now. I lost track. So yeah, he passed recently. So my brother lives in Utah with his wife and kids. He is retired Air Force, working for the FBI now. I went to go visit him in April. That was interesting. Never been to Utah, so I drove all the way there. Very interesting drive. Loved it. So yeah, there's a story of how we got from Connecticut to Costa Rica on the beaches, what I did, what I remembered on Costa Rica, and the whole thing. And then here in California, went to high school here, graduated, went to college for about a year or so, and I wanted to do a study with animals, but they couldn't afford me being a vet tech or anything expensive, so they had a little bit of an animal thing in there along with firefighting. I ended up being a firefighter. Worked here locally at one of our firefighting places for several months before I hurt my knee. Went up to the tower, where they call them, it's not the watchtower, observation towers, for a few months to see what I wanted to do. And I was like, nope, this isn't my career. I want to do something else. So I can tell you the stories on, when I was a firefighter, the things we went to and all the fun things. So after that, I started working with my father's dry cleaners, and I knew the place like the back of my hand. In a small town, you're going to get to know people. We have several famous, well-known people who lived in our town. One was a writer of one of the movies. Another one is a retired actor. So I'm not going to go into any more. And actually, we have another male actor that comes and goes from our town, a few towns from here, and then back to their area. So yeah, a few of them, never met them. They've been in our Walmart. One of them's been in the Walmart several times. I just keep missing them. But no big deal. I'm not a big celebrity stalker or whatever. Let's see. The hobbies I like, as you can tell, is cross-stitching, peg looming. I'm looking at my notes so I don't remember because I have so many. Resin, diamond painting, and peyote. I recently started up my peyote again. I did a few videos of it, and I thought maybe that would gain some interest. It's not a very popular heard of like diamond painting or cross-stitching is, so I started doing that. And right now, the sun is shining through the window in the craft room, and my oldest cat, Ziva, she is enjoying the sun, so I close her in there so the other two won't bother her, and she needs the sun. So that's why I've been booted out into the living room. Tell you what. And then I do sewing for those potato bags, and I recycle the animal feed bags for horses and chickens and stuff, and make them into shopping bags. Here's one that is holding some of my yarn. So I did this one. I've got several because next year, or 2026, whatever it is, I'm getting conflict information that our lovely Governor Newsom wants to stop plastic bags. In our local Safeway, who was bought out by Albertsons, but still called Safeway, they're not going to do plastic or paper next year. I don't know how many more are going to follow suit, so I started making a bunch of those. I like playing games on my phone. I do it when I'm at break at work. I cannot bring it inside, obviously, so I go out to my car and just take a 15-minute break and play some games. Let's see how many games that you guys have that I have. I do Homescape, Penny and Flow, Royal Bricks, Fishdom, and then Gardenscape. So Homescape and Gardenscape is the same thing. Same guy, Austin, the butler. One you're inside the house, the other one you're obviously outside the house playing. So I like playing games like that. I play solitaire. I play on a paying app called Just Play. There's Mist Play, and there's Just Play. I just do Just Play. That's the one I found out to be the best paying out because I don't have PayPal. I do, but I don't want to use it. So I just have Amazon cards that I use, and I've been playing for, over a year now, and I just get a whole mess of money built up into that game and transfer it over to Amazon and then buy things that I need, so it's pretty cool. What else can I tell you about myself? I've been in my current house that I'm renting for about 8 years now, losing track. I like it because it's in town, but it's also quiet except for when it's fair time, because the fair is a block away, and then their back gate where the livestock goes is not even it's probably a half a block this way. So it gets very crowded. All the streets are being covered with cars, people coming and going, the festival musics and stuff like that. It's the only time of year, and then any kind of other events that they like to hold will be that way. I love house plants. I've got tons and tons of those metal shelves. 1, 2, 3. I have 8 shelves full of house plants of all sorts. I only have 1 cactus. I'm not a big cactus fan. I already donate blood when I do cross stitching, so yeah. So I just got 1 cactus. I've got any and all plants you can think of. Pothos. I have, let's see if you can see back there. The sun's going to get you, but you can see if I move this way. Maybe you can see it. No, I'm bad at this. So anyway, there's a large pothos behind me. Yeah, that's not going to work, is it? Anyway, a huge pothos, purple velvet, some inch plants. Some of them call them wandering Jews, but they're the green inch plants. Then the wandering Jews is the purple and silver looking ones, which I don't have and I'd like to have, but apparently I keep killing them. I've got string of pearls. The spider plants, striped and not striped, variegated as they call it. I'm looking here. Orchid cactus, creeping Charlie, philodendron. It's got the orange leaves and the green leaves. I've lost a lot of my terminologies. We'll get to that later. Pothos, I said. Hoyas. Hoyas were my number 1. But they have those little white bugs that create like little cocoon things, and they suck the life out of your plants. It's so hard to control them. You have to check every week, especially in the summertime, and spray them with alcohol and rub them down. Otherwise, they're just going to hop from plant to plant. So I've lost several due to that, and I haven't bought plants in years. I've got enough to do my own. So I collect shot glasses. Got, about 20 of them or so. That's the only collection that I have as far as, that. I got plenty of cross-stitch and diamond painting kits. What else is there to say? I like making beef jerky. I have a dehydrator. This is my second one. And everybody at work likes it. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be making any more until I can start eating it. I'm going through some dental issues now, and I have to have a lot of my teeth fixed so I can have a plate and several partials fitted. I just had a tooth removed last week. I have to recover that for 6 weeks, so in February, we're going to do another crown. When that, and if the tooth was bad on this one, and they're wondering whether you should put a crown on it, and I said, yeah, please. And then that didn't work when they took off the temporary crown. So I had it pulled, because either pull or patch for me. I don't like root canals. I don't numb good enough. So then we have this one. The tooth underneath looks good. That one was soft. So after that's done, this last root canal, this last crown, then we will get some fittings for the plate on the bottom, and then other stuff that needs to be done. You'll notice in a lot of my videos, I hesitate a lot, like I just did. I can't think of a word. I get distracted, whatever. I was diagnosed with calcification of the brain. A lot of people have it. They just don't know it. I only found out because I thought it was the medication that was causing me to be the way I am, forgetfulness. In fact, when I'm looking for things in room, I look like the Roombas. They have no set designation. They go anywhere and everywhere, but yet they get the room clean. I look like a freaking Roomba just looking for things. So, I didn't like the way it was going, whatnot, so they decided, let's take a picture of your brain and let's see what's going on in there. And it's not cardiologist, that's heart. Whatever guy reads the brain scans, they said it wasn't in an area of concern. I have a tendency to not to believe them because I think they tell you that so you won't take advantage of it and say, this person said this is where it's at. It's affecting my speech and I want this, that, and the other. So anyway, that's why I hesitate. That's why I can't think of names. That's my reasoning for it. Oops. I also have a heart condition that I was recently diagnosed with, but I've had it all my life. When my father was alive, I've had, a lot of issues to where I'd have heart palpitations and my heart would be feeling funny, like when you get scared. And I went to the doctor because my neck was swelling up in hives and they didn't know what it was. And the doctor that I went to ended up giving me that, and I can't think of the name, that put under the tongue for strokes or heart attacks to stop that. Nitro. And my father got pissed. He goes, that's for old folks. You don't need that. So that was the end of that story. The doctor did see some abnormalities on the EKG. He wanted to send me for further testing. And because I was still I was still a teenager, that all got ignored until here about 4 years ago. And I went in to go see the doctor and told him what I was experiencing. There we go. Her thought was, when I told her about my heart and all this stuff, and it feels weird and it's beating weird, she goes, well, I seriously doubt it has anything to do with your heart. Well, you don't know that I already know that there's something wrong. I just need to know what that is. So we had that cardio thing done, and sure enough, it showed up as an IRBB. It's an incomplete right branch block. There's left and right. A lot of people don't know that they have it again until you're like, why is my heart beating real weird? I feel like it's in my throat or it's thick. If you feel your heartbeat and it beats like 3 and then it stops for 2 seconds and then it beats like 2 and then stops and does this weird beating, you probably have it. So go look into it. I have to redo my whole life. I usually drink 2 to 3 cups of coffee. I'm down to 1. I don't smoke. I like drinking on occasion. I love my eggnog. This is the season of eggnog. So I have to find out what causes my heart to do what it does. So I have to change accordingly. Again, they said there was nothing going on. It was a normal defect because my mom was an alcoholic when she had my brother and I. We both came up with symptoms. He had a cleft palate. I had the learning disability and the heart. So yeah, fun times, right? But anyway, I want to try to grow my channel more. I want to do more things on my channel. I want to do lives. A lot of people come into lives, but they don't say anything. They don't start a conversation. I do the Stitch with me's or Diamond Paint with me or Peyote with me. And I'm just trying to gain some more people and have fun in the community. And I get really upset when I have 2,000 views on a video, 9 likes, and no comments. Not everybody's going to comment, I get that, but it's just irritating, that percentage. Crash, boom, bang. With that, I also realize when I'm doing cross-stitch that if I want to have a lot of people join my place, I'm not like those who are serious about the cross-stitch. They mention the type of fabric. It's a 14-count Aida. They mention the type of yarn that they're, or the threads. I call threads yarns, threads, strings. You're going to see that also. I'm not going to correct myself. The threads they use is like a 16 plum from so-and-so. And then here's the fabric for designer, which I understand because you're giving the designer credit. And if you're interested, it tells you where to go get. I get all that. They also say, I did 436 stitches and I have 4,500 left and I'm at 4.5%. I don't need to do all that. I just stitch to have fun, to keep myself busy. I have enough hobbies to do, but I realize that is probably why I'm not as popular as the rest. I do enjoy watching them from time to time, and it's getting very hot. That's one of the hats that I just made, too, and everybody loves it. And I put a little, where's my sticker? Squirrel Thought. There's my little Made with Love on there. And my staticky hair. I crimp it. I like crimping it. So see, I just went Squirrel Thought, which people have Squirrel Thoughts. But anyway, yeah, I'm not going to talk the lingo that everybody else does. I just enjoy cross-stitching, showing you my progress, which I'm going to start rotating also. Just to give you an idea where I come from, what I'm up to. Let me know if there's any of those stories I mentioned that you want to hear. Be glad to go over it with a stitch with me, and then we'll go from there. So I hope that helps any. So if you think somebody might be interested in this YouTube channel, let them know everything I do, or show them this video, what have you, and hopefully I can gain some more people on my channel and have fun and not get so lonely. So until later, guys, thanks for sticking it out, and hope to hear more from you. Bye.